Showing you guys how I get vocals to cut through a 2-track. It's a lot of conventional ways to do it. People normally go to the 25, 100 kilohertz range, cut it down 1 to 3 dB. It's multiple ways you could do it, but I normally do it this way to ensure that it's cutting through the mix. I don't have to do no more processing after this. It's a little extensive, but I'm gonna just run down the plugins that I use. The name of this artist, his name is Young Trill. Find him on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. I'm gonna put his information in the comments or in the link. So yeah, let's take a listen first of the vocals and the beat, see how you hear it.
Glad it ain't get back that bliss that we sent there. Them lonely nights, changed my thoughts, exposed by light, you can hide in the dirt. Raised by wolves, swim with the sharks, whatever it was, I still play my part. Them lonely nights, changed my thoughts, exposed by light, you can hide in the dirt. Raised by wolves, swim with the sharks, whatever it was, I still play my part.
Yeah, so as you can hear, the vocals are cutting through the mix pretty clean. Performance is good. Everything is nice. Run down these plugins for you guys. First on the list, we have Trim. We gonna cut the track down. The track is loud, so we gonna cut it down. Have some headroom. We can fit the vocals. A lot of people like to record the track loud as hell. We're not doing that. We're gonna cut it down so we can have room for the vocals to fit in the track. So I normally cut it down between -15 to 18 dB, and that's how I get it, just create some headroom. Self-explanatory, creating headroom. Next, we're gonna go to Neutron. Neutron is where I boost the transients. Pretty sure the beat was already cooking, mixed real good, whatever, but I like to boost the low end transients with a bass and a kick set, so that way I can get that thump, that knock to come in on the beat. Not saying it's lost in this process, but I just like for it to thump a little more. From 6.5 kilohertz on up, I probably gain that a little bit. But if it's sitting good up in there, I don't really have to boost those transients or whatever. I really don't have to boost these transients because they're actually a little loud. They're a little loud. So I would be more inclined to reduce them, but I do that another way. Any reduction to any transients, I kind of do another way, but I'm gonna get to that in just a second. So from 450 hertz on back, boost where the kick and the bass is at, boost that. And from 6.5 kilohertz and up, boost that if it needed, as needed. You got to do everything by ear. The bread and butter of the whole process is Trackspacer. If you don't have it, I recommend you get it. It's real good, man. I sidechain this to my vocal bus all the time. I do it in every session or whatever. Every 2-track session, I do it every session. Never fails. So on Trackspacer, I normally go to the advanced panel. I normally cut it. It's normally from left to right, but I cut it from left to right to mid side, as you see it highlighted here. Bam. I normally turn the pan on the mid side to about between 55 and 70%. Ear to taste. You gotta listen to with your ears. But I don't want it to just fight the middle. I want it to actually cut through a mix. So that's why I don't cut it to 100%. I want it to cut through the actual mix, but it's gonna cut through the mid, majority of the mid, and a little bit of the mix. The stereo mix. Cut my attack and release, make them kind of slow a little bit or whatever, so that way it won't dampen the beat all the way. It'll just, just create a little pocket. Leave the advanced panel, we go back to the low cut. Bam. Low cut, I always have it around 1K kilohertz. Cut from there on back, 1K kilohertz, cut that all the way back. And then from the high cut, I have it 4K and on up kilohertz. I cut that on out because the voice is more heard between 1K and 4K. That's where your ears hear vocals. So I makes for that, and I normally cut the amount of Trackspacer being used to about between 5 and 10%. You don't need a lot of Trackspacer because Trackspacer will kill a beat for sure. So you don't need that much, 5 and 10%. Like I said, I sidechain it to the vocal bus. And then remember when I said the hi-hats were a little loud, but I do the reduction of it a whole nother way. This is where I come Pro MB, multi-band compressor. I normally cut up the kick and the bass 1.5 dB, but I compress it to 5 dB, give or take, ear to taste, just to make sure it's knocking, but it ain't thumping too crazy to where, it's peaking or anything or distorting or nothing, but just make sure it's knocking, but it's a tame knock. But for the hi-hats, go to that range, bam, let's listen.
Glad it ain't get back that bliss that we sent there. Them lonely nights, changed my thoughts. Exposed by light, you can hide in the dirt. Raised by wolves, swim with the sharks. Whatever it was, I still play my part. Them lonely nights changed my thoughts. Exposed by light, you can hide in the dirt. Raised by wolves, swim with the sharks. Whatever it was, I still play my part.
See, you can hear the hi-hats, but they aren't too pronounced over the vocals to where you can't hear the air in his vocals. So I make sure I tame those just so I can still get the S's and the T's and the high end of his voice to not have to fight with it as much. So I kind of tame the hi-hats a little bit. And last but not least, I go One Knob. One Knob is a effects plugin. Normally people use it to do like the Drake effect, drowning out the beat, putting your beat underwater type. But normally I just use it to really take some of the high end out of the beat, so his vocals on the high end don't have to fight with any of the hi-hats or the extra 24,000 kilohertz of a frequency. I kind of take a little bit of that out. I don't know what it just does magic every time. But I normally cut the resonance to none, because if you keep the resonance of this plugin on moderate or extreme, kind of changes the phase of the beat a little bit. It kind of make the high end more, it kind of boosts the high end a little bit. So I kind of cut it on none so it don't mess with no phase of the beat, and I cut it all the way to 9 so it can knock out some of the high end on there. But yeah, but that's all. These are all the plugins I use on every 2-track session to be able to get the vocals to cut through the mix. Let's have a listen one more time. Tell me if you can hear the vocals cutting through the mix in the comments, man. Let me know if you like this method. If you have any questions or whatever, you can DM me in the comments, man. It don't matter, however you reach out to me.
Glad it ain't get back that bliss that we sent there. Them lonely nights changed my thoughts. Exposed by light, you can hide in the dirt. Raised by wolves, swim with the sharks. Whatever it was, I still play my part. Them lonely nights changed my thoughts. Exposed by light, you can hide in the dirt. Raised by wolves, swim with the sharks. Whatever it was, I still play my part.
I also have a template to where you can just press 3, get the vocals clear cut. So if you want to hit me up about the template, $30 template, you can just press 3. I call it press 3, man. Mainly a Pro Tools template where I've been doing a lot of curating. I done took a lot of ideas from Federo, a couple other people, my homeboy Brian, another super dope engineer, my homie Lou, then took a couple ideas from him. Just a couple who I would consider the greats as far as I know. Yeah, if you want to purchase a template, man, hit me up in my inbox, DM, hell, even in the comments, man. We can make that happen. Like and subscribe.